Welcome to Fun, Fresh and Footy with Pete and Ash. I love that little bit at the end, eh?
Yeah.
It's quite groovy.
Yeah.
G'day everyone and welcome back to Fun, Fresh and Footy, the podcast with terrible tips, great yarns and absolutely zero editing. I had to do a little bit of editing last week because for our Sunday session I actually fucking forgot to press the record button when we started. But I can confirm it is red. I don't know if you YouTubers can see it, but it's definitely red. We will be keeping an eye on that for the remainder of the podcast. What is it? It's the 29th. It's a when? Is it a when? Thursday? Thursday. Look, quick, subtle input. I've just come off dog shit I almost just said. Dog watch this morning. So, yeah, I don't know whether I'm Arthur or Martha. Petey, my co-host, how the bloody hell are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Threw that one straight back to me.
Do you want to know about my week?
I'd love to know about your week, please. It's Thursday. I haven't seen you since Monday night, and if the listeners obviously haven't heard from you in a week, so tell me all about it.
Just been at placement this week as per usual. It's actually going pretty good. Getting a bit more of a groove of it.
You seem to have watched a lot of rugby sevens, but today.
Yes, I have been watching the Olympics. I don't do a whole lot there, but just watched a bit of Olympics, have a bit of a yarn. It was pretty good.
Do some speech path stuff.
Yeah, in between we do some speech path stuff. But yeah, no, it's going pretty well. I feel like I had something else that I did.
If all else fails in speech pathology, at least you know what it has to take to become an Olympic athlete.
Well, yes. I know what it takes to watch an Olympic athlete. And that's not much.
Do you know what? Like, I actually, because I've got like a few notable mentions about the Olympics and how we are just dripping in gold, which is fantastic. I haven't really watched a great deal. I turned the TV on the other day and it was the triathlon and someone that wasn't Australian was winning. So I
think our girl triathlete, the best Aussie girl triathlete came like 26th.
26. I was born on the 25th, so that's like close to being cool.
But I will say, I'm like, this is actually something I had to, a bit of a issue I had to bring up with kind of the world.
Go on. First world problems.
Like I, as a student, don't really have a lot on most of the time. Like I work, 3-day fortnights at Tomago. I don't even do that anymore. Actually, update on that, they called me today and they're like, do you want any work? And I was like, yeah, I'm on placement though. And then they're like, that's all right. It's a new lady looking after us. So she was like, call me when your placement's done. We'll get you some work. I was like, mad.
Oh my God. Congratulations. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Tomago.
Hopefully that comes through.
Do you know what? Like my favourite part of finishing night shift was like wandering down the bottom and then walking into the change rooms and here you are strapping your boots up and I look like I've just walked out of a coal pit and it's just like, Petey, Pointer, how you going?
Yes.
You're probably like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you can always tell the people that have been up all night because they're like, wah, and then like everyone that's getting this like, oh, get away. Anyway, but no, what I was going to say is like I generally don't.
I'm vaping
I've got
on this podcast too,
a lot of like spare time, but the one time I've had placement on is when the Olympics is on. So I've been, struggling to watch a lot of it, except for when I watch it at placement. But you know what I mean? Like,
well, I have a first world problem off the back of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so at work, we've got 2 lunchrooms. So we've got like the general lunchroom and then I'm guessing it was originally used for like a boardroom or whatever. But that's where when COVID originally hit, they had to split everyone up because you know how you could only have certain people in the room. Yeah. So anyway, there's about 4 of us that sit in this lunchroom and we call it the ladies' lunchroom. I specifically named it that.
Is it ladies in there?
No, it's just me and 2 other blokes, 3 other blokes. But for some reason, we cannot get Channel 7 on the TV there. All we can get is like SBS World Movies and like some weird Fox News.
Oh, that is annoying.
So all the boys are in the other one, yipping and yahoo, and when Titmus is like winning gold, and we're just like, oh, well, we're obviously dripping in gold again.
Yeah.
That's
annoying.
We'll catch up with them after, but so that's like super annoying about that.
Yeah, that is annoying. And then I don't think I've really done anything else this week.
Did you train last night?
Yeah, went to training last night, absolutely pissed down.
Did it really?
It
Oh,
was
yeah, it did
literally
rain a little bit.
flogging, and the wind came in so hard. It was horrendous. We finished up at like 10 past 7, and we went to South for dinner for Jessie Gentle's birthday. Shout out.
Happy birthday, Jessie, the fastest woman in Merriweather.
And fittest.
Possibly even further than that radius as well. She's a fucking very fast girl.
Yes.
Happy birthday, young lady. Unless you're old.
25.
That's young. Actually, do you know what? I say this to everyone that turns 25. It is all downhill from 25. As soon as I turned 25, my hangovers got so much worse. My knees started to ache and I had to get a mole cut out. So, like,
Yeah.
pretty much you've lived your best life. So, congratulations to making it to 25. My week, well, I've worked. I've just finished night shift. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's like silly. I've agreed to go in on night shift tomorrow as well to earn some extra coin.
Get that money.
Yeah, go make that bacon or whatever the saying is. So I will be back in the smelt tomorrow. Breaking news from the Krebit household. My poor brother broke his back last week. He had a workplace incident and, fell from a height and, like, it was all legit and whatnot, but, like, the poor bugger is, like, fractured two, what are they called? Vertebrae. in his back and, like, has a small fracture in his wrist. So, sorry, bro, I can't talk right now. So, yeah, that sucks for him, but it's kind of cool. I get to see him a little bit more.
Yeah, that is upsetting. That's like a rough injury, though. Which vertebrae were they?
I know one was L12, and then I can't remember the other one. Sorry,
right.
We'll get that off.
Like right down the bottom.
Yeah, so he just like fell and then just like went whack. And I'm like, far out. You're lucky you didn't like smash your head open. But then like he did show me he had a gash on his head and he was bleeding from the head. And then like I was like, nah, too much for me. Got all emotional, blah, blah, blah. We have very exciting news next week. You might be wondering why we're drinking. Now, this isn't Barocca for all those that think it is. Barocca have not brought out a new colour. We are actually storming our brains at the moment with a new drink, which we can leak a little bit more information next week to you, which is super exciting. And one more shout out I want to mention after I take this sip. The good people at Steel City are going to send through me and Petey some merch for us to rock and wear because we are both big fans of the beer. We're both big fans of like most beers, but Steel City is a good drop. Newcastle based. We're Newcastle based. And I don't know if anyone can notice, but we do actually have our fun, fresh and footy. Why is yours on a different side to mine?
Look, I don't know. I just was testing it out, which ones I liked.
Petey's got the black hoodie with the logo to the left.
Yep.
I've got the grey crew with the half ironed on logo. So that's all right. I'm happy to take the weird sample. I'll rock that.
Can swap.
Can I be honest, Bart? The fleece in it, Bart, is phenomenal. It's so nice. Hold on. I'm just going to get that out of the way. 2 seconds. Do you reckon that stopped recording? Nah, it definitely didn't.
No, it's still counting.
I was like, where am I looking? All right. Let's move into our notable mentions of the week. So obviously we just touched on like we're dripping in fucking gold in the Olympics.
Yes. Did you watch any today? There was
no.
Kyle Chalmers got bronze today in the
mine are all very early in the week, so
you
you bring me up to speed.
I honestly don't know. We've got like the couple rowing ones. We had
the rowing ones were cool.
Obviously, like the most notable is Ariane Titmus like beating Ledecky.
She's got two.
Yep, she got two. We also had the women's
4x100.
Yeah, we won that. But today we had the women's final for the 4x200 meter freestyle, and we came third in that. Sadly.
That's all right. That's still a medal. Like that's still a podium.
But the Golden Girls in the 4x100, like, ooh.
Who were they?
Like that's the 4x100.
Oh, sorry, so, like, who won the 200? What country?
China won it, and then USA came second.
Like I can see the USA doing that because they just look like we talked about robots before. Like I feel like most Americans are robots. Sorry to our American listeners.
Yeah.
But holy shit. So I've wrote here that the 4x100 meter freestyle world record was done in 3 minutes and 29 seconds, or 3.29.69 or something, which was some ridiculous world record. There's a couple of girls, I didn't write their names down. They're in my phone.
But the games in the
I can't remember their names now.
Kate Campbell, Bronte Campbell,
McEwen.
Emma McKeon.
McEwen. I don't know.
McKeon. Kaylee McEwen and Emma McKeon. And then the other one was Meg someone or other, who's a rookie.
Yeah, they are just red hot. And I think that was like the third time they won.
Third in a row, yeah.
So those girls were absolutely ripping and tearing. I had that Titmus had won the 400 meter free. That was obviously earlier in the week. Yeah. Emma, how do you say it again? McKeon, the 100 meter butterfly. I don't know whether it was on like Batuta Advocate or something. I saw a post and it's just like the butterfly stroke is just such an alpha move. Like that's the alpha of all of the strokes.
Yep.
Like I don't think I've got the rotator cuff movement or the circumduction to be able to.
When I was younger, butterfly was actually my stroke of choice.
Oh, here we go.
But no. Then I like hit puberty and it just wasn't any good. I was still okay, but like it was hard work and I changed to backstroke.
Backstroke, yeah, not a bad one.
Yeah.
What about Kaylee?
McEwen
dropping the F-bomb when she won.
Yeah, I liked that. Good on her.
I absolutely loved that. That girl, look, that's how all Aussies should celebrate gold medals. Because that's how
that's how we feel.
That's what I mean. But like us behind the screens, we're all going, fuck yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, it's obviously because she's like newer, but it's nice that she's just like hasn't got the whole like media.
Oh my
like,
God.
You know,
like
she hasn't been drummed into her how to talk to the media and all that. So she's just saying like genuinely how she feels.
Literally just rolls off the tongue and it's like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. Yes, I hate that, especially with like rugby league players when they're interviewed like at halftime and they've got like literally a script that they basically read.
But it's annoying. Like I can see why they do it though, because anytime anyone comes out in an interview and says something that's a little bit like, you know, out of the ordinary, people either like love it, every now and again they love it, but they often just rip them to shreds and
or just twist it into something else. Hopefully sports media in itself just changes.
That's what we were saying though, like I've heard people say like in America, like they're literally allowed to be their own brand, the sports media.
100%.
They can say whatever they like.
Same with like the UFC and stuff like that.
They can say whatever they like, they can do whatever they want, and it's just like, righto.
Imagine if like, well, Teddy just seems like too much of a good bloke, but imagine if like, who's someone like Latrell who would just like say what he wants.
Yeah.
Just be himself, country bumpkin, like.
Oh, it's like imagine all those boys.
Like it'd be so good. They could say whatever they want. Because remember when Toby Rudolph got slammed for having that like, the comment about going and pull at Northies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was a giggle and it was a joke and just everyone's so fucking sensitive these days, which pisses me off. All right, do you have any more about the Olympics?
Nah, not really.
All right, I've got another couple of notable mentions that we'll quickly rush through.
Yeah.
So, a couple of new signings. Dale Finucane to the Sharks on a 4-year deal.
I did see that.
So, that's good for Cronulla. Obviously,
that's a great deal.
What's his name? Our boy, Craig Fitzgibbon, obviously working his absolute bloody magic.
I'm so excited to see what he does with the Sharks next year. Like, I already love him, but I just think he's already got Nico. He's got Dale Finucane now. Like,
what's his name? SJ going to be there?
No, SJ's going to the Warriors.
Oh, that's right. He's going to the Warriors.
But, yeah, so I just
Wait, who are they going to have the halves?
I think that's Nico Hines is going to go there.
Who's their fullback? Moylan?
No, William Kennedy.
Oh,
Will Kennedy's a gun.
Maybe I need more of this stormy brain.
Will Kennedy's a gun. Moylan is staying, apparently.
So he'll play in the halves with Nico?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool because, Nico definitely...
Untapped potential. He could play anywhere.
That's like
he's just played fullback because they've needed him.
Similar to like the Manu conversation we had last year. Like that may not even be his best position because
exactly.
He's
just playing fullback because
Pappy's out. Pappy came back last week, which was good, and played a few. Oh, I can't remember how many minutes. I checked it earlier.
He wasn't back to like full on ripping, but he had a solid
still had
game.
to go, and they still fucking won like they do. And then like I didn't even write this down, but Craig Bellamy's signed for another 5 years with the Storm, so they're going to be unstoppable for the next half a decade as well, which is concerning for anyone that doesn't support them. I don't actually know anyone that supports the Storm.
I feel like there's someone
except for Dior Dave.
Yeah, no, there's definitely someone that I know, but
Storm. Now,
I feel like Jade's ex-boyfriend
Katie Koo, if you're listening, I think she supports the Storm.
I have a feeling Jade's ex-boyfriend used to support the Storm.
Marge. Also, Gagai to the Knights.
Yeah, that's a good.
I can't remember how long that was for.
I think 3 years.
That's not a bad deal for the Knights because they're looking at moving Clemmer on as well. Apparently, he's looking at going back to Belmore, which is weird because like he is like fully like established here in Newcastle now. Yeah. So that would be
yeah. I think Gagai's a good fit.
Just to like refresh my memory because like I'm brain foggy. Did Gagai used to play for the Knights?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's he would have played when Wayne was there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a good move. I think he'll fit in well here. I feel like I've seen him in Newcastle a fair bit anyway.
I feel like I've seen him out.
Yeah,
in
like
Newcastle.
Like it seems like he loves Newcastle. He's here a fair bit.
So welcome back. Is there just like a bit that tells you which fucking year?
I don't know, but I'll give you some of my notable mentions while you look it up.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. 2012 all the way to 17. So wow, he's actually spent a long time.
Yeah, so it'll be nice coming home sort of vibe.
Wow, he was there for a long time, but I don't think he did a great deal for Newcastle, to be honest.
Now, well, it's a chance to right wrongs.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right, you go on.
These are always interesting because I open my notes and I've just like written them through the week and I don't check it until we're here.
And you know what? I do the exact same on my phone, but I need to make sure I get pen to paper. Otherwise, we have that thing where I'm like...
So they're always interesting. My first one just says, Sam Williams looks like the kid in school whose nose was always blocked and they were a mouth breather.
Oh, wow. I kind of take offense to that because I feel like I'm a mouth breather. Can you, like... You wouldn't believe how much Carmex I have on my
Yeah, but
lip.
like, you know, like a real obvious mouth breather that's like...
Is he the bloke for the Raiders?
Yes. I don't know. Next time you look at him, just see, like,
He
I
also
might have
has
just been thinking things when I was watching, but I remember now...
He also got a massive, like, beak on him too.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching
Wow, now I'm feeling really personally attacked.
No. Now I was just, like, watching him, like, I was like, oh, God, he looks like he would have always had a blocked nose and was a mouth breather in school. Ran around all PE, like, all lunchtime, like, would run and run
He's the last person you'd want to...
And then would, like, come in after lunch and just be like...
He's one person you wouldn't want to get on the Katonis with. Share a bag with.
Yeah, no.
I should probably bleep that out.
What else? I said Jake Clifford had one of the great shockers as well.
Jake Clifford.
For the Knights. One of the worst games
Where's
I've seen
their
in a
game?
while.
Knights didn't do very well, I know that.
No.
Oh, against us.
Yes.
Also, who's the tall... Is he the centre or the winger with the dreadlocks?
Oh, Dominic Young.
Yes, Young.
Also
had a fucking shocker. Best part about that game was I went and watched it with my nan and pop. Oh, the forest just kicked in. I went and watched it with my pop, and like he's a die-hard Knights fan, but like fuck, it was funny listening to some of the dribble that was coming out of his mouth about how like poorly they were playing. I was just like, oh, sorry. Jake Clifford, can you refresh my memory? What did he do?
He's in the halves. He just had a shocker. Like, his kicking game was all off. He was having...
Well, on that game, your boy, Drew Hutchinson, also had a shocker kicking as well. So that maybe they shared that.
You messaged me and were like, he had a great... I actually thought he played better than he normally does.
Yeah, but at the start of the game, his first kick, he booted it out on the full.
Yeah, and I missed the first little bit because I was getting a tan.
I was saying to Pop, I'm like, had my phone waiting. I'm just waiting. And I'm like, Peter will message me any minute now. She's going to message any minute now.
I actually thought he played better than he normally does, but like still not the biggest fan. But yeah. And then you were just like, nah, I'm finally off him.
I don't know. He literally like, and we've got a big game coming up this week, so he's really going to have to try and redeem himself.
Yeah.
Speaking of redeeming themselves, now Penrith take on the Storm this week, and this was one of my notable mentions. Penrith missed 69 tackles in their game last week.
How wild.
So who was that against?
The Broncos.
The Broncos actually like played fucking good footy.
Okay, did they though?
No, Penrith missed 69 tackles. That's what happened.
Did they? Because, you know, obviously they looked like they were playing better, but at the end of the day, Penrith missed 69 tackles and the Broncos still lost. Like, we're going to talk about this. I would have talked about this at review, but we'll just get into it now.
Yeah, we might as well just rip in.
I looked up the stats of this game because I was like, 69 tackles, surely not. And everything, like running meters, possession, like tackle busts, completion rate, everything was higher for the Broncos than for the Panthers.
So team stats, yeah.
Literally, like, everything was higher.
They just couldn't get through, even though they missed 69
And they
tackles.
couldn't
They made
win.
69 tackle breaks.
That's what I mean. That's obviously, if they make 69 tackles.
Oh, yeah, duh.
It's kind of like yin-yang, like, they just sort of go together.
Sorry. If you're not aware, I'm obviously the dumb one on this podcast. Peter's the brains. I'm just the one that presses the buttons that laugh and whatnot. Oh, that's actually embarrassing.
Like, literally all the stats were...
Yeah, Broncos all the
geared
way.
in the Broncos' favour, and they still didn't get the win. So that's actually kind of like good on the Panthers for sticking in there.
Well, they've got a tough one this week against the Storm. Cleary's still out. I hope he's out next week too, because that's when we take on Panthers as well.
To'o also out.
To'o out with an ankle injury, which was sort of late mail. But the last thing I wanted to touch on, unless you've got anything else, Appy Coruscant. Now, I don't know. I just think because my dad goes for Panthers, I've always had like a bit of a soft spot for him. And Appy just seemed like such a good guy.
He seemed lovely.
But the COVID breach where he's like sneaking wuzzes in to get it off during Origin camp.
And he's got a wife and kids.
Wife and kids, like, I don't know. It's just changed my whole perspective of him.
Yeah,
and
he
I
seems
just
trash.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not sure if the like text threads were legit or not, but the one picture that I saw of the text threads, it's like, I'm so sorry, I've done it to you again. Like, he's clearly like a serial cheater.
Yeah, I was about to say that one obviously looked like it was going straight to the wife.
Yeah.
So really, like, that's Marge moves, Appy. Like,
That's big Marge moves.
So not happy about that. So what did he get? He got about a two game ban.
Suspension, and like a $1,600 fine or something like that.
And there was another thing, I think I saw it on the news.
Maybe it was 30,000. I don't know what the fine was.
Fucking oath, he should have got fined. Like, just like
it actually might have been a hectic
like
fine.
keep your dick in your pants. Like,
exactly.
honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know how hard it was. Have you listened to, just to promote another podcast on our podcast, the greatest podcast of all time? Have you listened to the Bloke and Hello Sport one?
Yeah. And they're talking about the flashlights at the door. Yes.
Oh my goodness. If you haven't, if you don't follow Bloke in a Bar, go on and follow Bloke in a Bar and listen to their round
20
preview. Oh my God.
With Hello Sport.
With Hello Sport. It is absolutely hilarious.
It is funny. It is always funny, but yeah. Like,
this one is specifically
essentially,
like,
they do need to put in some sort of like measures to make sure people aren't rooting all the time. Like, it's ridiculous.
Look, honestly, do yourself a favour. As soon as you finish listening to this, go and listen to that, because it was I was literally dying laughing at it. All right. That's enough notable mentions. Should we quickly review the round that was? So that was round 19. I wrote round 18, so I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. So from our tips last week, I got 6 out of 8. So I didn't do too bad. I haven't really written many notes. All I know is the Raiders got up over the Eels, and to be honest, as much as the fucking Raiders piss us off and we hate them equally, that was a good game.
It was a good game, but it also pissed me off again because, like, I didn't think they were going to win. So
I love how Tar messaged everyone in the group chat and was like, well, there goes everyone's perfect round.
Literally, first night. It was nice to see, like, a really close, like, gritty game, though.
It was.
Like, was good.
It was a grind.
Obviously, fuck the Raiders, but because I didn't tip them, but, you know, that's all right. Obviously, no Moses had a bit of an effect with the Eels.
That's what I'm hoping for when we burst in this
me
week.
me too. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, what did you think of the Rapana knees to the chest,
that was,
no arms at the end of the game?
Look, Drew Hutchinson, our least favourite 5/8 in the game, ended up with a punctured lung.
I wouldn't say least favourite.
Sorry, there's people.
He's our least favourite Roosters half.
The third least favourite. Ended up with a punctured lung from a very similar act. And poor, what was his name? Sivo was fucking bashed by that. Like, I didn't agree with it. Like, I thought
it should be either leading with the knees or shoulder charge. Like, it was awkward because it was kind of halfway in between. But either way, he never tried to put his hands in.
There was no hands at all. He
literally just charged him out.
Slid completely in, knees, then like fell over the top. And it's like, what the fuck?
I would have been happy if it was just at least a penalty. But like everyone's saying, you know, if it was a penalty, it really should have been a penalty try because he would have scored that for all money.
100% he would have.
Rapana doesn't come in like that. So. Yeah, it was like good because you're like,
that also makes us more dirty because then we would have got the win.
Well, exactly. Well, if they got the penalty, I don't think like Buddy Gutho would have kicked it.
Yeah, he didn't have a
But if they got a penalty try, they would have won.
Yeah, we would have won. So, fuck you, Rapana.
Yeah.
Game of the round was obviously Friday. Early one on Friday night.
Yes.
Roosters versus the Knights. Now, I'm almost certain that the Knights got off to a quicker start than us.
Yeah, they did. They were up 8-0.
Big Jacob Safidi went over in the 13th minute, which was... look, I wasn't stressing.
No, neither was I.
Because then we just went boom, 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 boom,
clinic.
Joseph Manu is such a hot boy. I feel like I've taken on that. Like, he's my favourite hot boy in the game now.
He's so versatile, so cute.
Lucky Lamb, your boy got a try. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tupanua got a double.
Yep. Also,
Tedesco also had a shocker at kicking. We need to find a kicker ASAP. When is Kieran
coming
back?
Kieran's playing this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
I'll have
he's
to get it
starting.
up for when we... thank the freaking Lord. Did you message Robbo or something?
Someone
must have reached out.
I DM'd Robbo.
Robbo must have been flicking through like TikTok and saw our fucking reel or something and goes, oh, these girls know what they're talking about.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'll do it, girls. Also, I had a question. Do you think, even unbiased opinion, do you think Roosters are the toughest team in the NRL
Yes.
history?
Yes.
I think so too.
I 100% think that because...
That's my unbiased opinion.
No. There's nothing unbiased about that. I'm going to completely back you up here. I'm going to pilfer and clean out and win this ruck for you because we have lost so many troops this year. Like, so many troops. And I know we were versing like a sort of beta Knights team.
But what other team could lose as many players as we have, as many core players as we have, and still literally be like winning games?
We're still fifth. Yes, we haven't won. Look, the only thing not in our favour is we haven't beaten anyone in the top four. We've got a chance on...
But like... We've lost everyone. Like, we shouldn't, we're going so much better than we even should. Like, the fact that these teams, even if they are, like, bottom 8 or bottom whatever, like, they should be beating us based on, like, the cattle we've got now.
Exactly. And, like, you look at Manly, for instance. So, Turbo was out at the beginning of the year, and they were going absolutely dog shit. I think we versed him in round 1 and beat him, like, 600-0.
Yeah,
as soon as Turbo, like a core player or such an important player, was injected into that squad, look how well they're doing now.
Yeah, that's one player. Like, we've lost everyone.
We have lost everyone bar our man Tedesco and fucking Jared Orea-Hargreaves and Hot Boy Manu. Like, and now we've got Kieran in the side. That just actually fucking gives me great vibes.
But should we say Buddy Smith and Ikavalu both down and out?
Look, I didn't want to bring it up.
That was
now
heartbreaking.
I spoke quite passionately last week about how much I love Matt Ikavalu.
And I spoke quite passionately about how much I love Billy Smith. I was just getting on the Billy Smith train and
his is season ending. So, but Ikavalu may be back for
potentially
finals.
back for finals. Yeah.
So, look, there may be some messages sent to their inboxes on Instagram, just wishing them the best and speedy recoveries and whatnot. But again, like, shit happens. But we still managed to pick up and put puzzle pieces back together. Yeah. Robbo is not a rugby league coach. He is a genius. Like,
he is. He's so good.
He is obviously from the future or something, and he's a robot, and just it's incredible whatever he's doing at Moore Park. Like, keep doing it. And Nick Politis, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. Don't get rid of him. Don't ever get rid of him. He needs another 5-year extension as well.
Robbo is brilliant. I will say that reports are saying that they are looking at buying another back. They're just, Robbo said, we're not really looking at anyone in particular at the moment, but yeah, the potential is there to buy another back because we are so down.
As in, like, buy them now or, like,
Yeah.
do, like, a loan thing, like, what,
I'm
something?
thinking like a loan situation.
Ooh, who could we get?
I'd love like a half.
Maybe we should get, like, Sean John, or is he injured?
He's injured.
Yeah, I
He's
was going to
just done
say,
his
he was all bagged up with his hamstring. Who else is, like, a halfback that we could have? We could be here all night thinking about it.
Yeah, we could. To be honest, like maybe Storm will get rid of Nico because they're like already getting rid of him. Maybe he just comes to us for the rest of the
Holy
season.
dooly. I would... wow. That would... Imagine.
That would be nice.
And you know what? And the Chooks would pay him a decent wicket to just do it.
Yeah.
Or you just have the honour of playing for the Tricolours, such an established club,
Exactly.
1908, like foundation club. Why wouldn't you want to be enriched in that history and
And-
let Pappy come back on and they'll probably fucking go on.
Storm doesn't need him at the moment. Like he's doing great, but like they've got the resources.
Oh my goodness, I might message Craig Bellamy. All right, the second game on Friday night. Now, I actually did say to my pop when I left his house, I was like, oh, God, this is going to be a boring game.
Oh, my goodness. I know. I had all my multi was like 13 plus, every bloody try
It
scorer
was-
from Storm, and it was close as hell.
It was close as hell. And Pop was saying to me, he's just like, I'm so sick of these, like, blowout games. Like, they're so boring to watch. I said, yeah, unless it's the Roosters versus anyone. I love watching those kind of blow. But yeah, I get what he's saying.
Yeah, they are. But also...
I did not expect it to be this freaking close, Bart.
No, but it annoys me when they're like freaking blowout, blowout, blowout. So you think you can make this mad long multi with a million try scorers, even though it's still not worth that much because of how well they're going, and then they throw a close game in like this.
Well, what let them down? Like, Nico only kicked 2 from 2, Drinkwater got 2 from 3, Addo course... Oh, no. It was just tries, yeah. So, Addo Carr got a double, Reem Smith, Olam. Olam is a scary human
he's a big
being.
boy.
Like, I know we have to tackle some, like, big girls, but, like, imagine that running at you.
Stuff that.
I would just step to the side.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that one, but yeah, obviously Storm won.
I think that, like, even though it was really close, I never really thought that Cowboys were going to win. You know?
No,
like,
no.
when I was watching it, even though, like, I never was like, ooh, maybe they will.
No,
it was more like, oh, it's weird that it's so close still.
Yeah, like, it was just like, why aren't you scoring more?
Yeah, literally. They didn't have Munster, though. They had Cooper Johns in the halves, which is a little bit of a change-up.
And I guess...
And Drinkwater did rip and tear, as he has been.
We said that last week, and
Yeah.
he's definitely Cowboys' best player. Cooper's still very young. I think that might have been his, like, third
Yeah,
NRL
it's not
appearance.
many.
So... Look, he's still sort of getting into the swing of things and whatnot, but, like, that's awesome that he gets a run, and he's still got the win, obviously.
Yep.
The Bunnies absolutely pounded the Warriors
Yeah, here's our
into the
blowout
ground.
game. I was not expecting it to be this big. I didn't actually watch this game, I will say
The
that.
Bunnies just
I was
like...
doing something.
Oh, can I tell you something hilarious? On my way home from Newcastle today, to cheer myself up, I listened to our very first podcast that we ever listened to.
Really?
It was terrible.
It makes me nervous because so many people that, like, gave us a shot literally just listened to our first episode and they were like, oh.
It was fucking horrible. Oh, my God. It was so bad.
Yeah, that one was bad, though, because we made it as a video and both of us were so uncomfortable, like, being filmed
We were
originally.
also sitting on the floor doing it.
And the microphones weren't turned on.
No, we forgot to turn the roadcaster on. So we could hear the funny effects, but no one else could. But, like, that's still, like, our highest viewed. I think we got over, like, 200.
That's what I mean, though. It's our most viewed, which is an issue because everyone just watched that. I mean, listened to it and was like, oh,
yeah,
this isn't great, and stopped listening. But please.
Newsflash, we're heaps better now.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, it was so funny because just speaking of the Bunnies, what we were talking about so it was round 6 that we started doing this. So what we were talking about was, like, Penrith were humming, the Bunnies were humming, and we were, like, full convinced that Bunnies were, like, grand final contenders. And we were like, Storm haven't even done anything yet to, like, click into gear. And now I'm like, whoa.
I mean,
how could I have been so wrong?
I mean, I still think Rabbits are a shot at getting in the grand final.
They won't win but they won't.
They won't win it.
They won't win it. But, like, it's weird. They have these, like, weird blowout games like this,
Yeah.
And then they'll be down by, it'll be 22-10 at half time and they're losing, and then they've got to like make up all these points. Or they put 60 on a team, and it's just like, can you just, there's no, I don't know. I don't think there's any consistency.
This is like a team that genuinely just goes off vibe. Like,
it is a vibey team.
Like, they just are like, sometimes the vibe's on and they're like humming, and other times the vibe's not on and they're just like,
Well, they talk about like when they play their shape, it's just like fuck it footy, like backyard footy. Like, that's what their shape is. There's no structure to it whatsoever. It's just give Cody the ball, give Trell the ball, fucking do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. That's the thing. They've got a lot of talent in that team, and then so they don't really like work that hard all the time. I feel like they kind of just rely on their talent to break through, and then they're like, it's like they switch off and then just think, oh shit, we actually have to win this game, and they all the talented ones just come together and they're like, let's score tries.
It just annoys me, like
they're very hard to tip and they're very hard to make multis around.
That's not what I was going to say, but I completely agree with that. It also annoys me that they can put 60 on the Warriors like that, which is fine. I tipped the Bunnies.
Yeah, me too.
I had full confidence that they'd win. But then, like, they'll lose to, like, some weird team by, like, something ridiculous, or, like, have to make up a whole bunch of points. But whenever they verse the Roosters, they just, like, decide to be the most dominant team in the whole competition. And it's like,
they always
why do
switch
you
on
save it
against
for us?
They literally do that. Even when obviously Roosters are in a bit of a, like,
do you remember that night
dull point at the moment? But
night at Southside,
even when Roosters have been humming, like, randomly the Roosters will just have this shocking game, and the Rabbitohs will just come out and play out of their skin. It's like they just hate us winning.
When we were losing 60 nil last year at South having dinner, I literally left at half time. I was like, fuck that, I'm not listening to you, Zip and Yahoo.
Yeah, I was over it, eh?
You had to stay because I think Purnell was with you and he was driving, and you had to finish your beer. I was like, see yous later.
I was pretty pissy, but everyone's going like, Peter, how do you feel? And I was like, 80-minute game. There was like 75th minute.
That was actually the first time. I don't know why I wasn't drinking. I might have had to work the next day, but I think that was the first time that I'd been around you when you were not like blind, but you had like probably half a rugby league skinful into you, and I'm like, fuck, you're loud. I'm like, I'm actually,
and like it's super amplified in South because it's like no noise there.
There's no like carpeted, like there's no like sound barriers or anything. But I'm like, that was the first time I've kind of like looked at you, and I'm still having a normal conversation. I'm like, fuck, you're a loud human being when you're on the piss. I'm like, I can't imagine, like, no wonder no one wants to hang out with like just us two and we're drinking together.
Both loud. We were only just talking, I don't know if this story will be that funny over the thing. We were just only talking about it the other day, like one time I was coming to the Clarendon, I was meeting you guys, you and, I don't know, Brooke was there.
It was me, Brooke, and Katie.
Yeah, we're all at the Clarendon, and I was getting there a little bit later, and you were out in the courtyard. I was, like, walking in from the pub bit. It's probably, like, another 20, 25 metres away from when you first see me, and you've just, like, spotted me, thrown your arm out, and be like, hi! And, like, actually screamed it, and, like,
everyone in the pub turned and looked, and I was like, fuck, that was like 50 decibels way too loud. And that was embarrassing for you, for me, for everyone at the pub. The pub like 3 pubs down the road heard it and thought something had happened. I was like, shit, I need to rein it in. But in saying that, I'd also had a rugby league skinful by that time as well. Yes. All right, Saturday afternoon we had Manly beat the Tigers 44-24. I think I watched this at a pub.
I did watch this, but Manly's humming. That's all I really had written.
I actually think Tigers got off to a better start.
Yeah,
because
I do remember. I think I was
watching it.
Was this on a Sunday? Did you say?
No, Saturday, probably like the middle of. So 10:20.
What time? Anyway,
it was like the middle, like the 5:30 game.
As per usual, I was at Penel's footy and I was looking at score updates, and I remember thinking like, oh, the Tigers are off to a start, but just sort of.
I don't know. Maybe it was a bit but anyway, who cares? Manly won. We tipped them. Panthers versus Broncos. Look, we won't really touch too much on that.
We went into that.
We went on to that. Now, Sunday, Dragon.
Oh, one thing about that game is...
Rack it up.
I was at the pub for this. Dylan Edwards kicked a 2-point field goal right on half time, which was pretty mad.
Yes, that was actually pretty snazzy.
It was literally like a couple seconds ago, and he just slotted this like 2-point field goal, and I was like, wow.
And you're like,
you didn't need to tell everyone you had a big dick like that.
Yeah, just he kicked it with his dick.
Yeah.
But when you miss 69 tackles, that's when you need to start kicking with your dick and
Fucking oath.
getting 2-point field goals, because otherwise, what the hell are rugby league podcasts going to talk about? How are we going to pump the Panthers up if you aren't doing stuff like that?
Exactly.
So kudos to the fullback. That
and
was
good on them for still getting the win whilst missing 69 tackles.
I know. I literally could not believe. I think I even texted you to tell you like.
Yeah, you did. Like that's
like we only
outrageous.
text about like very random things, but like that must have been so bizarre that it involved a text message.
That is bizarre because we were raving about the Sharks or someone missing 61 tackles the week before, and we're like, wow, that's so many, and now it's 69 by the Panthers.
By the Panthers, who are second on the table and like
Yeah.
premiership contenders, and like I don't know. The world, everything's weird in the world.
Yes.
Do you know what I've noticed? There has been like a full moon for the last like couple of days. Like when I've been doing night shift.
It
and
definitely
whatnot.
would
How
only
long
be
does a full moon last?
one day.
Well, the moon's still been quite like round.
Yeah, it only gets big. It doesn't change size quickly, but it'll only be full for one night.
Oh well, it's been like reasonably the same size a lot. So I'm like, maybe this is why all this weird shit's happening.
Maybe.
Dragons versus the Titans.
Also,
now,
didn't watch this.
I can't remember. I must have been at work, and I definitely did watch it. And shout out to the Unpro Pod for guessing that we were going to tip the Dragons. No, bro. We are psychics, and we knew that the Titans would win.
Yeah.
We can just... The only thing that we can't predict is when the Raiders are going to win or lose. That's the only thing our psychic powers can't predict.
Yeah, Titans. I was playing lawn bowls when this was on, but
I'm
yeah.
glad that came back to you. Fafita was on fucking fire. Remember?
Yeah. Oh no, and there's been the yarns because they started him on the bench.
Yes, he came off the bench and then he went to the opposite. So he normally plays on the left, but he played on the right, and they were sending so much like traffic down the left, and then all of a sudden just switched to the right, and then
Yeah.
boom. I'm almost certain he got a double.
Well, that's good on him, and also shows that their defense potentially a little better. Obviously,
But
Dragons
Dragon-
only scoring 10 points.
Okay, I lied. Just one. Maybe got a try assist. I don't know.
Eh.
Spread it. But that was the game that Corey Norman sat out.
Yeah.
But like, I also heard this on Bloke in a Bar or Hello Sport or whatever. They should have just made all those beta stupid dickheads sit out for play their New South Wales Cup and get it over and
Yeah,
done
and
with.
just play their shit team, and then it would be. I honestly think I would have preferred that as the team as well because they lost that game, their first game back anyway.
Exactly.
So if you just make
They're
everyone
just going to
sit
keep
out-
losing.
If you just make everyone sit out for that game, and then you're like, we cop the loss and move on.
I don't see what the point of like staggering it out
Yeah.
is doing, especially if they're going to keep losing.
Yeah,
like again in episode 1 of this podcast, we were so red hot on the Titans, and now I'm so like hot and cold with the Titans.
Yeah, they are
like
hot
they
and
played.
cold.
They played so well. Like they really clicked into gear, and yeah, once Fafita came on, he was an absolute menace, like causing ruckus. All right, last game on Sunday.
Don't really
so
want to talk about this one.
I don't really want to talk about it either because, like, obviously, as I mentioned previously, I'm the dumb one on the podcast, and I thought I had my calculations correct.
We must have had him a bit off.
They were definitely off. I've obviously
that's fine.
subtracted something or added something incorrectly, put something into the calculator wrong.
Carried the one over or something.
I remember my old maths teacher telling me that the calculator's never wrong, it's the operator.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of fitting because I am an operator. So,
Well-
the Dogs,
Actually played okay. Like, it only blew out at the end.
it was a mad blowout right at the end.
And I honestly, like, without being a whinger, thought that they had some pretty unlucky calls against them.
I had to listen to it on the radio.
Anyway,
so
Sean Johnson's injured. Dogs didn't win. I don't
your
really
boy Connor Tracy scored like right on
Connor
the
Tracy's
bell.
a gun.
William Kennedy,
Yeah.
Mulatalo, you love him too.
Yeah, all my boys scored. I know those are
you
my
like Al Everillo? That's right. I remember when Napa scored. Napa scored as I was texting you. God, we must actually text quite a bit.
Meany is one I always pick as a try scorer, and as is Kennedy, Mulatalo.
But I think the roster for them is changing this week.
it is because of SJ.
Fucking.
But we'll get to that.
No, not SJ. For the Dogs, I mean.
Oh, the Dogs.
Because
yeah,
Flanagan's back in. So that means that Corey Allen's in fullback and Meany's on the wing.
Yeah, Corey Allen was injured.
Before we get into our favourite segment, Peter did shoot me a message the other day, and she said she found this on the Roosters social media page. Now, our YouTube viewers will be able to see it. It's a blank picture of James Tedesco, which you can colour in. And so what do you got to do? You got to colour it in
and send it in.
Is that it? Do I have to say anything? Or
no, you got to colour it in and send it in with a like a picture of you like next to your face.
Okay, yep. So I'm going to test my colouring in, and what happens is if you win, you get a shout out from James Tedesco. And do you know what? Holy fuck! Imagine if that happened. So I'm going.
I mean, I think it's definitely like more designed for kids, but they didn't say there's an age limit on who enters. So I think we just.
That's what my dad said. He said, "Is there an age limit?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Peter sent it to me, so I'm guessing not."
Think so it didn't say anything.
I'm going to give it a go. So I got a couple of days off, so I'm going to. I actually won a sick Razor scooter in a colouring in competition back in the day.
Ooh, so she's got runs on the board.
Yeah, so I do have runs on the board. I don't know how good they would be now. I also don't have any pencils, so I will have to stock up on that. So if Crayola or anyone wants to reach out and send them my way, I'm not entirely sure when this needs to be in by, but I'm sure I'll get it done.
Check that.
All right, favourite time of the day.
Come on.
Thank you, Rihanna. So that leads us to our Star and Marge, where we name one star and one Marge of the week. Petey, kick us off. Who's your star?
My star, for probably the third or fourth time since we've started this podcast, is my mum and dad.
What have they done this time?
Well, you wouldn't believe it. I had to go. I went and took my car in for a service.
Yeah.
And a pink slip, 2 new tyres, on Monday. Have to pay my rego. Anyway, Mum, I was like talking to Mum on the phone, and she was like, "Oh, so Dad and I actually paid your rego for you."
Wow.
I know.
Well, I actually said,
Nice
because I
of
think I
them.
said that to you at footy, because you were like, I had to get my car serviced and a pink slip, and I said, what is your rego due? And then we had to run.
Yeah.
So I don't
yes,
actually
it
think
is.
we ever finished that conversation, but
It is.
fuck, that's
I
nice.
know, and my CTP, and I was just like, oh, they're just the
Fuck, they're good people,
They're just the nicest people, because like
When are
obviously
we
they
going?
know
When
I'm.
are you taking me up to
Yeah, we'll have to
Maxville?
do that soon when my placement finishes.
Righto. We'll take the podcast up to Maxville and we'll do an episode up there.
Sounds good.
Is
But
there
yeah,
like
no, they know I don't have work at the moment, and I have to travel to Maitland like every day, so they were just like did it for me, and I just think they're the
It's a
nicest people.
Do you know
ever.
what? Like driving from Maitland to Newcastle and then back, and then like you doing vice versa, it's like taxing on the petrol tank.
It is taxing on the petrol tank, yes.
And I only buy my petrol from certain service stations for certain reasons. And my father told me to stop putting that fuel in my car. I need to put the better stuff in.
No, but it's so
It's so cheap. It's so much cheaper to use what I do. And anyway, all right, my star of the week is actually, so for those who don't know, I do a little bit of personal training on the side. I know that's very fucking hard to believe. I'm as I'm sitting here vaping and normally drinking beers. But I actually am quite passionate about health and fitness and whatnot. But I do have one client, Tim, and he is my one and only client at the moment. But I just wanted to name him as my star because he has been absolutely killing it in the gym. Like, he rips and tears. I train him twice a week. Every week session we go into, he absolutely kills it. Then I've been getting it, like I've got all these old Waratah, New South Wales Waratah like conditioning sets, so similar to like the shit that Caitlin would be doing.
Yeah.
And like it was his deload week this week, so I was like, all right, we're going out on the field and we're gonna do some conditioning stuff. So I'm pretty much making him do what like professional athletes do, and he just gets out there and fucking rips and tears, like no complaints, and like. He's just like, I'm so proud of him. And then he's just like, at the end of the conversation, like, oh, just letting you know I lost 2 kilos. I was like, bro, what? Like, that's
What
such
a legend.
I was like, that's so exciting. So, like, yeah, Tim, I'm going to snip this up for you and I'm going to send it to you because you are my star.
Good on you, mate. Keep
alright.
ripping and tearing.
Keep ripping and tearing while I rip and tear at you. I just stand there and whinge and bitch and tell him about my life. I like just vent to him about my life, like constantly.
As he's doing shuttles, like he hears one little bit of the story every time he comes back
He'll
to
be
you on a
squatting
shuttle.
and I'm like giving him all my like asking for like life advice, and he's probably like, "Shut the fuck up." All right, who's your Marge?
Well, I already touched on it, but just the Olympics being on while I have stuff on is my Marge.
That is such an inconvenience.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to having a lot of free time, and I
When
don't
the
have
hell does
any.
this placement fucking finish up?
Well, I'm finishing up the 3rd week now, so 3 to go after this.
Oh, good. I can't wait. I don't know what we're going to do.
Just as the Olympic finishes.
What will you do then?
Nothing. Not work.
No, you're going back to
Nah,
Tomago.
I might. I don't know if she was just bullshitting.
I might see you. I don't
Anyway.
know. Time will tell.
Who was your Marge?
Look, it was a tough one because my life has been such a mess the last 3 weeks. So, so pretty much my life is just one big Marge at the moment. But I'm going to have to self-Marge myself because, all right, I don't know how to describe this, but there's gutters that are the square gutters, and then you've got the driveways that come up. So anyway,
Yes.
I've gone into reverse into a fucking beside a gutter, and I've full popped my tire. Yeah, so I was just full popped my tire, and I was like, wow, I'm actually going to need to change this.
You know what? That actually, when you were telling me that you popped your tire, it actually sent me into a bit of a panic because, obviously I had to take mine in for a service, but I've just been, one of my tires has a slow leak, and I've just been pumping it up every day because it just keeps leaking, and I just
You've
keep
probably
pumping
got
it
a
up.
fucking nail in there.
Yeah, but it's okay because I was going for a service in 2 months, so it didn't matter. When it started, I was like, yeah, I'll go for a service in 2 months when my rego's due and it'll be fine. So I've just been pumping it up.
I've got this booked in for October. It'll be fine.
So I've just been pumping it up every day. Every day, I'll drive to Maitland and back, and in the morning I go to pump it up. It's 9 PSI. And I'm like, ugh.
Do you have a spare tire in your...
Yeah, but it's one of those ones you have to go 80 Ks on. Anyway, the bit on the side, because it wears down and wears on a different bit of the tire, the outside bit was literally squishy. I could squish it. And I was like, how
That
the hell did
is-
Krebit's tire pop and mine has been driving to Maitland and back?
Look, in saying that, I ripped and teared into that car park. I was like, and then as soon as I hit it, I'm like, I remember walking in and I'm like, I'm fucking 28 years old. How am I still doing shit like this? But in my defense and to my credit, I knew how to change that tire. So
Well done, well done.
I did say to Dad,
I wouldn't have known.
Thank you so much for teaching me how to change a tire at 18 because I semi-remembered how to do it.
I wouldn't have known how.
I lied. A man did help me line the jack up because I kind of didn't know where that went.
Yeah.
But anyway, $110 later, that was my afternoon. All right, next we move on to our Chix leaderboard. Look, it's getting to the business end of the season. I think we've got our podium locked in unless we can get some real weird smoky, what are they called, where you get a full round?
Yeah,
Full rounders. But Britt Sager is well ahead in front on 111, and then equal second, Liz and Tar on 109. So those girls are looking for that cash money prize at the end of the year. Look, if you've got your secrets, girls, please reach out because
Yep.
7th and 8th,
Anyway.
we don't know what we're doing.
Anyway.
All right, let's move into round 20. So
Tonight.
we kick off. We will have
Yes.
have the podcast out. What time is it? Oh yeah, we got oodles of time.
Yes. Need to rip into
We'll
this.
definitely have the podcast out by thingy. If I can be bothered editing the video, we might have it up on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and whatnot. You know the drill.
Yep.
YKTR, you know the rules. All right, tonight, game of the round. So actually, all of the other games this round don't matter after Thursday
I love
night.
having the Thursday night game.
Fucking oath.
It's so good.
Roosters versus the Eels. Now, like we said, what's his name's out? Help me here.
Moses?
Yeah, Moses is out.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get a little bit of strike power, a little bit of zhuzhazha and get around and get over those beta
So
bitches.
we've got Kieran in the centres and
Oh, that's right.
Manu onto the wing, which is a little bit of a waste of his time. A little bit of a waste of him, but when he was on the wing last week, when he had to jump onto the wing, he did get involved a lot, so I'm not too worried. He got in and just ripped a
Wow, I
tan and
didn't
sort of
know
made
that.
his mark.
Who is he marking up against? Fergo.
Is Fergo in the centres? Oh, the wing.
Wing-
Fuck, I
wing-
just said
wingers.
he's on the wing.
Meh.
Eh.
That's all right.
Anyway.
Spread it.
Also,
Nah,
Takiyaho is back just on the bench, so that's
that's
nice.
all right. Great enforcer.
Yeah, we love him.
Lockie Lamb, also our 14. We love you, Lockie Lamb.
Do we?
He scored last week, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck, I love Angus Crichton as well. God, just looking at this team.
Also, Opachik back for the Eels.
Yes, I just was
He
scrolling
wasn't
past-
in that last week.
Look, I do rate Gutho. I remember getting on the beers once and actually texting Gus. I didn't text him, but like sent him a Instagram message, and I was like, "You're beautiful without long hair. Cut it off."
I think you should.
Yeah, I rate Gutho as a player and as a person. Even though I don't know him personally, but yeah, I don't like the long hair on him.
Do you want a fun stat?
Go.
Eels have not defeated the Chooks twice in the same season since 2007.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure they beat us.
They definitely beat us the first time because, as I mentioned earlier, we haven't won. To be honest, our team looks freaking red hot. Dylan Brown obviously still playing for the thingy. Dylan Brown still not over what you did to Drew Hutchinson.
Oh, if he comes at Drew or any of our players tonight,
that's the game we lost. And then when the other bloke, the second rower, whoever that was,
we need payback for that round, to be honest.
It's payback. Oh, God, I'm keen for tonight's game now.
Same.
All right, Friday night, we've got the Tigers versus the Warriors. Oh, also, yeah, we'll be tipping the Roosters.
Obviously didn't use my ink on that one.
I didn't circle anything either.
Also wrote in green ink this time because I'm using a lot of black lately, and I thought, why waste my black? I'm going to use my green that I never use.
Well, this is my work pen, so I don't know how this ended up out here. Yes. Tigers versus Warriors.
I've taken the Tigers.
Yep, also taken the Tigers. I know they came off a steep loss, but the Warriors have came off a steeper loss. I don't know. I just think the Warriors are now kind of just like, meh.
I feel like their wheels are falling off. RTS has obviously gone home.
The Warriors remind me of your flat tyre.
Yeah.
And mine.
Yeah, they actually remind me a bit more of your popped tyre.
Yeah, Tigers are more like your tyre that's like slowing down. The Warriors are my actual tyre that's just fully blown and needs to be replaced.
Obviously, we've RTS going home, and also...
Did you see the haka that they did for him?
Oh, no, but that's nice.
Yeah, check it out on Instagram. It was probably on NRL.com or whatever. But all the boys did a haka for him.
That's lovely.
At the resort or wherever they're at, which was... that was super nice. That's our margin game too. So what have you gone for the margin?
I think I went 16.
I went 14. We seem to always be very close. So, yeah, I reckon Tigers are in for a good one.
Yeah, Peter Hiku also returns, and he is now the captain in the absence of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
I don't mind Peter Hiku, actually.
Yeah, I do too.
Is Dewey still in?
His name's also spelt the same as mine. I'm pretty sure. Like P-E-T-A.
Like what, a girl way?
Yeah, go way.
It's definitely a girl way. So who's in the halves? Luke Brooks and Adam Dewey. Oh, yeah, Peter. Sorry, Peter, but hate to break... Unless your name's spelt like a boy.
Well, it sounds like a boy.
Well, Ashley there was a customer at the bank that used to constantly remind me that Ashley is a boy's name. And I'm like...
customers like that.
And I'm like, thank you so much. I'll go home and tell my mum and dad to rip my birth certificate up. Late game on Friday... So I'll actually be at work for both these games, which is gross, but cash money. Broncos versus Titans. Now, I'm going the Broncos purely because it's at
Suncorp.
At Suncorp, correct?
I have the Cowboys at the moment.
Wait, is it Broncos and Cowboys or Titans?
Broncos and Cowboys.
I've written Cowboys.
It is Cowboys.
I've written Titans.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure it's Broncos and Cowboys.
Wow, Titans are backing up twice this week. Good on them. Red hot.
Cowboys have gone with the same starting side, and they actually did put it to Storm, so I'm like...
Yeah, but they also are just like...
They're not very good at winning, I will say that, but neither are the Broncos.
No, the Broncos definitely aren't good
I think
at
it'll
winning.
be a good game, or, well, a tight game, I should say, not a good game.
Gamble and Croft, Drinkwater and Did, and look, I'm on the Drinkwater train.
Dearden will be like wanting to rip and tear against his old club.
And we've been drinking water.
We have been drinking heaps of water. That's probably why he's going so well.
We've been,
also, Kyle Felt's 150th NRL appearance.
Did he end up scoring last week?
Yeah, he did.
Congratulations.
Also, TC Rabati's back for the Broncos, who I rate.
That was another thing for Brisbane. Old mate who's going to the Storm, what's his name?
Xavier Coates, they haven't allowed it.
But
they still won't put him in.
Still can't get a start.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him too. Like, poor bugger.
Like, he's going to come into the Storm next year trying to get a start, and he hasn't even been able to play any NRL because the Broncos won't put him in.
The Broncos are fucking doing anything good anyway.
He's better than the players at the Broncos, sorry.
Well, yeah, like, I don't really care, but, like, I definitely think he deserves a spot in first grade.
Oath.
So glad that Mum gave us these rugs.
Yeah, me too.
It's fucking cold out here. Dragons versus the Bunnies. Now, that's a no-brainer.
I've gone the Bunnies.
I don't even know if you've got any notable mentions. I just know that Dragons are beater.
I've got that Liam Knight and Campbell Graham need to pass concussion protocols to see if they can play. Cam Murray is out due to suspension for a crusher tackle.
Who is that on?
Huh?
Who is that on?
Ramsey is back, but in the reserves.
Don't know.
Oh, actually, no. Ramsey's out. He's in, like, the extended bench. And Tatal Amon, I don't know how the hell you spell that.
Yeah, okay, young throbber.
Yeah, he's
Amane.
coming in. He's a new boy, so... Norman's in the centres also.
What the fuck? Maybe that's to give the guy of Sullivan a bit more of a run in the 5'8", because obviously Corey hasn't been given a contract next year, so they might just... And he's obviously the future for the club.
Yep.
Ben Hunt... Look, I love Ben Hunt. I have a newfound love for him.
Yeah.
But in saying that...
I like him better at hooker.
But like, apparently he hates playing hooker.
Yeah, but just
Who's their
wild
hooker?
because he's
McCulley.
so much better at hooker.
He's so good at hooker.
Also, the people facing their suspensions for the Dragons this week are Laurie, DeBellin, Maguire, and Bird.
God, that seems like a lot.
Also, Tarek Sims' 200th NRL game.
All right. Rip and tear, Tarek, but I don't think you'll win.
No, don't rip and tear enough to beat the Rabbits because I've taken the Rabbits.
No, like, have a crack, but Latrell's not going to let you.
No, I don't think, like, if you just had Latrell and Tarek Sims running it straight, I think I know who's winning.
Latrell, all day, baby. Yes. And if anyone can pass on that reel to Latrell, we'd really appreciate that.
Yes, if anyone's got his contacts.
Okay. Controversy City. Knights versus Raiders.
Raiders.
I've gone the Raiders too.
100%.
Knights have been playing beater footy.
Raiders, as much as we hate them,
they've been playing good footy.
They've been playing good footy. And I just thought it was a fluke the first time they won, and now I'm like, oh no, they're actually playing
like
good footy.
Yeah, they've like almost clicked back into gear.
But it's annoying because like they always should have. They'll
fucking lose this week, I know.
They've always had a good side, but now they've just like decided to switch on.
Oh, Pierce is back in.
Potentially. I think he's under... See, he's not in the Sunstart. He's like, so, maybe.
That's right, I did hear that earlier.
Yeah, Pierce and Best both, like, they could come back in, but they're not sure.
Is Best even named on the thing?
Maybe he's not. He must be.
What was his? Syndesmosis?
Yep, syndesmosis. It would have been a 3-week early return, but apparently there was talk that he was going to.
I just remember in that Knights game when Ponga threw the ball to... where's that guy with the dreadlocks? The fellow of Young.
Oh, Dominic Young. He's probably dropped.
Yeah, dropped because he dropped the ball. But in saying that, Ponga's about a foot shorter than him. And the way he threw the ball, he pretty much threw it at his knees. And even Pop was just like, what the...
What else have? Clemmer's also back.
I just think because of the last 2 weeks, we can't go past the Raiders.
No. White and Likely back, though. Is he named? Because he was supposed to potentially be back.
Oh,
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, Josh Papali'i is named. He was meant to be passed. Oh, no, Jack Whiten is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whiten and Papali'i was meant to be passing concussion protocol, so that's obviously all gone well.
So everything's all well in Canberra. Well, not really. They're in Queensland, but... we're going to go them. Hopefully they don't let us down again.
Sure
I'll be
they will.
fucking really pissed off if they do. All right, Storm Panthers. Now, this would normally be a super exciting game, but based on Panthers' 69 missed tackles, Appy's out, other massive key players out.
I'm just like not that excited for it now.
I'm not excited for it at all.
Because it's just annoying because this matchup could have been so good, and I just wish we got to see it like as the both full strength.
Full strength.
Like, it would be so much more enjoyable.
God, it would be an exciting game.
But now it's just going to be like,
So
Toto's out. Tyrone May is out also, so Burton's into the centre. Into the halves, and Naden's into the centres. Cleary's still out.
Like, who cares?
Appy's out.
Titans, Dogs.
I'm considering still going for the Dogs.
Really?
Yeah, considering.
Nah,
this will swap swapsies, but
yeah,
I have a feeling.
I just reckon after last week's performance, I've stuck with the Titans. They like considering I watched the game, I was like, whoa, like that's a rugby league team.
Yeah. Herbert is out and Fogarty potentially out.
That's the half, eh?
Yeah.
So who comes in for them?
Fafita is starting now, which is, back to what he was doing.
He was very beneficial coming off the bench.
Yeah, I think he's probably more beneficial coming off the bench.
Big
Look,
hot Timo.
I'm still not sure about this. I think Jogs are due for a win soon.
Yeah, look, they've got to be due very soon. But like,
The calculations may have been out, but I just don't think they were that far out.
no, like
It's soon.
It's
It's
got to be
soon.
very
It's coming.
soon. And yeah, I wasn't very good at maths at school, and obviously I wasn't good at calculating that one. Last game on Sunday is Sharks versus Manly.
Manly,
Manly
obviously.
100%.
Obviously,
like,
Sharks also know SJ now.
yeah, that sucks for them because he was ripping and tearing.
Although it does give Tracy a chance in the halves, and that is apparently his preferred and normal position. Even though he has been ripping
well,
and
there you go.
tearing out of position.
I tell you who else has been ripping and tearing? Kieran Foran, and that's
Oh.
another reason why like I know Turbo, everyone's just like
And-
blowing steam up Turbo's ass. Actually,
Morgan Harper had a gun game last.
certainly did. He got a double, maybe
A hat trick.
hat trick.
His
My
first ever.
My apologies. Congratulations, Morgan Harper, for that. I just can't. I don't know if you remember, but last week we were talking about obviously Manu. Manu's like our favorite hot boy. Like, who's your favorite hot boy like in the league? Like, do you?
I'd have to say Manu.
Yeah, like mine's definitely Manu. I also reckon Harry Grant's a mad hot boy.
Nah.
Mum's is.
Oh, he's just like not one of my favourites.
Mum's was obviously Manu. Your Nana's was Sterlo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you gotten in touch with Janet to find out
No,
who
I didn't
hers
ask
was.
her. I'll
But
have
I
to
did
ask
ask my Nan who her favourite hot boy was, and she said Tom Trbojevic.
Fair.
I said, righto, Nan.
Although apparently he shaved his head now.
Well, that means he's up for, like, it's finals time, baby.
Yeah.
Like, not mucking around now if you've got no hair. All right, so we're going Roosters, Tigers, Broncos. Or, no, you've gone Cowboys.
I went Cowboys.
Bunnies, Raiders, Storm, potentially Dogs, Titans. That's a bit of a
Yeah.
And Manly.
There you go.
All right, let's do this Penthouse Multi.
I'm hoping my phone doesn't die in the process. Let's make it quick.
Let's make it quick. That's all right. I'm sure we can get sports bet up on. I'm sure this fucking $2,000 computer can do it if we have to. I've got mine all ready to go.
Beauty.
Just for the listeners that played last week, we got 4 from 16. So
Getting close.
so yeah, about that. I might take my sunnies off now.
Righto, first game.
I've gone Roosters head to head because we are not the favourites, and I think we're paying about $2.50.
We are. $2.15 on this one. Anytime try scorer. Let's go. Big bad Joey Manu on the wing.
Yes, Hot Boy Central. And I'll try and get this out. I'll try and get the Penthouse out on Instagram as quick as possible as well.
Tigers versus Warriors.
I want Tigers 13+, obviously to do with our margin.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I will go Dewey, anytime try scorer.
For the Broncos game, I've gone Katoni
Yes.
Stags as an ATS.
Yes, I like that.
And obviously, if you're thinking about going Cowboys, do you want to go a try scorer too?
Yeah, I will. Let me see.
Let me guess who you're going to pick.
Nah, I'll go drink water.
Yeah, I
I
read
back
you.
him. I wasn't going to, but I do back him enough that I'm like, surely he's going to pay off soon.
I literally can read your mind.
Dragons versus Rabbits.
I've gone Gagai anytime try scorer. Maybe the new contract might get him ripping and tearing.
I like that. I just got to find him on here. Yep, and I think I might go Campbell Graham, ATS.
Campbell Graham, ATS.
Yep.
All right, where are we up to? Knights versus Raiders. I've gone Raiders 1-12. Like, I don't think it's going to be a blowout game. Oh, who fucking knows, actually?
Who would know?
Who knows? Knights are...
Are you going to go 1-12 still?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure, because we can't trust the Raiders. And it would be annoying if they were the ones to
If
completely...
Pierce comes back, I don't think it'll be a blowout,
But he's potentially...
potentially not out. And I don't think their halves are, like, well enough to, like, defend in the middle.
Should we just go...
Raiders 13+.
I don't know. I just don't trust him enough.
Nah, Raiders 1-12. There, put it in.
Imagine if that's the only leg that kills us. I'll hate them forever. Even more than I already do.
You'll hate me, and I'll be solely doing this by myself.
I am going to go big bad Sebastian Chris.
Is that with a K?
KRIS, yep.
Beautiful.
Storm versus Penrith.
Obviously, you know what I'm going to say.
Storm 13+.
Yeah, I see them pulling the Panthers' pants down, and just running away.
I'm going to go... Let's just go add a car. I'm going safe.
Yeah, especially with the other shit that I've dribbled here.
Dogs versus Titans.
Dogs versus Titans.
I'm going to go Nick Meaney anytime try scorer.
So, well, I went Gold Coast 1-12, but if we're not agreeing on that, so who'd you go? Nick Meaney?
Yep.
I'm going to go for Feeder again for an ATS.
I like that. Last game, Sharks versus Manly.
So we've both agreed. I'm going to go DCE anytime try scorer because he ripped and teared. He's been playing well.
I'm going to go William Kennedy, ATS.
William Kennedy, ATS. All right, what does that bring us to, Petey?
Radio. From $1, these 16 legs will get you...
This creepy crawly spider will get you...
$188,279.43.
Wow, good job. That will... Look, it's going to pay off one day.
It will.
It will. It's just being consistent.
As I said, this is how we're going to get famous.
Like, this is episode 22, I'm pretty sure. Like...
You know what they say about anything? The way you get success is just consistency.
Consistency. Why do you think we've been here week in, week out, sitting in the fucking cold,
in the middle of the jungle?
In the middle of the jungle, doing this for our fans.
Changing locations every week.
Yeah, just to keep it fun and fresh. We do it for you guys, and we also do it for our benefit because I'd like to win $188,000.
Oh.
Before we go... we have exciting news. We do have someone that has reached out to sponsor this podcast, which I know is hilarious because most of the time it is shambles and bulk dribble. But someone recommended us to a very legit company, and we are super, super pumped to be working with them. So next episode, we'll be announcing who that is, and hopefully we get to do plenty of work with them in the future. So... Yeah, it's
so exciting.
It's crazy to think that us two dickheads, like, someone wants to support us.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. That's consistency. That's all it is.
That's it. If
you keep turning up, people have to say yes.
Oh, also notable mention: Merriweather Carlton take on the Hamilton Hawks at
Nelson Bay
at 4:30 on Saturday. I am now playing. I banged on that I'm a fullback. I take everything I've said back. I am now a flanker.
Well, last week I was playing 12 for the first time in my life, and I was also jumping in the line.
Well, apparently I'm jumping now, and I'm scared of heights.
Nah, it's not that high. It'll be fun.
So don't call me Ashley Tedesco. Call me Ashley Orbison because I am just the utility of Merriweather Carlton.
And we've got a bench the size of nothing. There's literally no bench. So
we have no bench, so I can't wait for that. We'll be fucking having to tackle like Caitlin and stuff, won't we?
Yeah, we'll have to tackle the people we just podcasted with last week, so beauty.
So if we don't do a podcast next week, that could be the reason.
Because we're broken. Nah, we'll be here. Consistency.
Thank God. Consistency.
It
It may be over Zoom from separate hospital beds. But, all right. Well,
surely they could get us in like next to each other hospital beds.
Can we please have a double, like a queen-size hospital bed so we can do our podcast? And we're going to need like a little table and somewhere for our ring light to go as well.
Yeah, or if they could just buy us a new stand that's nice and tall, that would be fine too.
Actually, that is something that we will get. We will get a new stand. All right, well, that's everything from Fun, Fresh and Footy that's happened for this week. It is Thursday. I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Up the chooks.
Up the chooks. Fuck Manly. No, I'm kidding. Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy themselves. Be safe and wear your mask. Make sure you sanitize. And if you're from Sydney, do not come to Newcastle. Alrighty, Petey. I'll see you on Saturday and we'll see you guys next week.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.